Hello, this is Andria, and this is GenderqueerChat. It's Tuesday, and I'm going to be a new host on the channel. So thank you all very much for having me. I'm really happy to get to share my perspective on things, and yeah, it's should be a good week. This is going to be intro/free week, as far as I know. So I believe I'm pretty much the first person this week. So yeah, I'm a little bit extra nervous, I think, because of that. So yeah, be nice. Sure you will. Yep. I also tend to not think about myself that much, or at least like I don't really think about how I can present myself to other people. So I've had a little bit of trouble coming up with a concise, nice video. So hopefully this one will work out. I usually do things in one take as well, so it's kind of like, oh, I gotta get it right, you know. But anyways, we all do our best, I guess. So I'm just doing mine. I'll do my best. Yep. So, like I said, my name is Andria. I like to, I guess words that I use, that I like to use to describe my gender is trans, genderqueer, and genderfluid. So those are words that I've found over the last like 2 to 3 years, as I've really started to explore and figure out my own kind of gender and stuff like that, and all the complicated things that go along with that, or can go along with that. So yeah, as I'm sure anyone else would tell you, those words have a particular kind of meaning to me, and they're words that I use, and so I'm not sure that I could really provide like a kind of definition of what that means. But basically, trans for me tends to relate more to physical kind of things that I go through, and how I've kind of made physical changes to my body, and that I felt that is necessary for me, and that's just been a part of my experience. And I know that's not a part of everyone's experience that's trans, but that's usually how I use that word. And then other words would be genderqueer and genderfluid. I particularly have liked those words because I think it's really indicative of the kind of changes that happen in life, and it's certainly something that I experience. So as far as like gender goes, it's definitely something that I've kind of felt as pretty much fluid. How I express things can change, and what I feel kind of internally will be subject to change. I think social interaction is something that tends to bring out different stuff a little bit more heavily, but I certainly observe a lot of just fluidity in general, uncertainty to my experience of that, which I've certainly actually become quite comfortable with over time. So yeah, so I guess that's a little bit about my gender. Hopefully that makes some sense. I know it's a little bit vague, but yeah, that's that. I'm gonna get a drink. Okay, so I'll try to keep this under like 5 minutes, because it's not that important, right? It's just me. Yeah. I guess I can talk a little bit about my hobbies. I really like music, so that's something that I do quite often. My hobbies kind of cycle and stuff, so it's sort of fluid like my gender. My interest in different things sort of come up and then goes away, and then I come back to other stuff. So yeah, mostly my interests do involve music. You can see my guitars, at least some of them back there. also like art in general. I really like to do a lot of like digital painting in Corel Painter, and just this little tablet, which is awesome. So that's kind of a cool thing, and that lets me like draw things, you know, instead of on paper. I can actually do some digital stuff and have like a pressure sensitivity. So yeah, that's part of my kind of hobbies and stuff that I like to do. Since I don't edit and stuff, I'm not really able to just go, here's something. But yeah, I do make art though, and maybe on occasion I'll get to share some of that stuff. I also make music. I can show you really fast my piano and stuff, and then I'll probably be about done with this. So yeah, here's my piano and other things. Ta-da! Yep. So that's that stuff. Sorry, there we go. Yeah, so that's my piano. I like to do some of that when I get the chance, and play keyboards and make a lot of like electronic music within Ableton. So yeah, that's basically what I do. I spend a lot of time to myself, which I don't know if I've mentioned, but I do like to keep to myself. I had kind of a social life a couple of years ago, like 2-3 years ago, but I mostly keep my interactions to like online, you know, on YouTube here, and a little bit on Facebook, and yep, I mostly actually really like my life and just being on my own. I guess I kind of tend towards introspection and find that a little bit more satisfying. Just in my own life, it's kind of a nice thing. Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's about it. Wanted to keep it kind of short, and I think this came out pretty good. So thanks very much for listening, and yeah, I'm looking forward to everybody else's videos as well, and I hope you all have a great week. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.